This is the Voices of Herriman podcast, the podcast that amplifies the voices of our community. Nestled here in the heart of Herriman, where everyone has a story. Whether you're a Herriman native, a newcomer, or an admirer from afar, I got you on this adventure. Welcome to the Voices of Herriman. Hey guys, welcome in. It's Voices of Herriman. I'm your host, Kevin Allred. With me today is Cortney Denison from the Community Food Pantry.
Yes.
I'm so excited that you're here.
We're glad we're here.
So let's jump into it.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Great time of season to be thoughtful about other people.
Yes, it is.
Right? So tell me a little bit about, let's talk a little bit about you.
Okay.
Right? You've got one kid?
I have three.
3 kids.
So my oldest is going to be turning 21 in February.
Oh my goodness.
And then we jumped down to our 8-year-old in 1 week. And then we have a 4-year-old that turned 4 last weekend.
Oh
and
my gosh.
Yep, we did in vitro with her. And so there was a big jump there as well. But yeah, super blessed to have the children I do.
Girls or boys?
2 boys and 1 girl. The youngest was the girl.
Who's your favorite?
I don't have a favorite.
You don't have a favorite?
No favorites. They all have their own personalities. And when they say you can parent them one specific way, there's no one specific parenting style because they are all their own person.
Oh, absolutely. Right. Yeah. I've got 3 girls and
nice.
And they're tricky. Like
they are tricky.
Each one of them has different needs and different patients and different buttons that they're able to push.
How old are they?
So I've got 17, 15, and 11. She'll be 12 here in like 3 weeks.
Nice.
Yeah.
So December baby?
December baby.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a lot coming up with the holidays.
Right? Oh, yes, it is. Well, and she's got a cousin who is like 4 days apart, and we call them the twins.
Okay.
And so it'll be a fiasco. We're getting together as a family, like all of our families getting together. Yeah. First week of December, and we're doing a
birthday party.
We're doing Christmas, Thanksgiving, birthdays, all wrapped in one. So it'll be a complete mess. But
mess
I'm excited
and party at the same time.
I'm excited for it.
That's good.
So tell me about how you got involved with the Utah Food Pantry.
Oh, okay. So earlier this year, I felt led to back out of everything that I was leading or involved in for a reset as to why I do what I do. And I kept staying back. A matter of fact, I tried really hard to keep my hands out of this at first because I wasn't sure if I was ready to get involved again. Long story short, eventually, there were a lot of people coming and asking me questions, and I wanted to know the answers. And so I got with a few other people, and they asked me if I would start to direct the food pantry, and I said yes. So it was super amazing. The timing was amazing. I felt led earlier this year when I backed out of everything to be more involved in the community and to truly just help people realize that they are loved where they are. And so when this fell in my lap, I couldn't say no because it was everything that my heart was telling me earlier this year that just came to fruition. We
love those passion projects.
God things, right? Yep.
Yeah. Tell me, like for those who don't know, what is the Community Food Pantry?
The Community Food Pantry is a pantry that is there for every single person that is certain level below the poverty line that needs food and assistance. Sometimes we all go through hard times, and I know it's really hard to ask for help, but this pantry is there to truly help people that are in need. So if you're one of those people, never hesitate to reach out and come out to the pantry. It's at Athlos Academy. So it's in a place where most of us know in Herriman, and it's there for each person that is just in an emergency need of hunger.
Right. What a great mission that the food pantry has. Tell us a little bit about some of the core values that exist for the pantry.
So for this pantry, it goes beyond just hunger, and it goes beyond emergency food. What we're looking for is to get the community involved for a bigger mission. We have other nonprofits that we're connecting to. So this pantry is going to become a conduit. And with this conduit, we're going to be able to, if you need ESL lessons, if you need maybe help in the workforce, or if you need mental health help, or anything that you feel like you're just left in the dust and you just don't know where to go, this is the place that we are trying to build as a safe place to help you and get you what you need. Hunger first, right? And a lot of the times that's where a lot of things start And then we're going to get a lot of the other programs in place to help people on a deeper level. It's loving like God would love us. So it's that agape love, that sacrificial love. Love is not just a feeling. Cool. It is an action. And sometimes that sacrificial love is what is more important than anything. Because I can say I love someone, but until you show them love by doing something for them that you may not even want to do yourself, that's what true love is. And that's what the number one point of this food pantry is going to be, is to help love people where they are and to serve them and be sacrificial to them where they are.
So I love that, man. You put that on a poster right there. Thanks, Court. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
How, for those of us that don't really realize, what is the need here in Herriman? Do we have a need in our community, or?
Yes. And the more I'm getting involved with this, the more I'm seeing it. A lot of people right now are traveling outside of Herriman to get the food they need. Other pantries, some of them are even 70% of their people are actually Herriman residents.
Whoa.
And so we, as our population has grown dramatically, and we all know that it's grown dramatically recently, yes, it has changed, and there is that need. And for a long time, Athlos had started it. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But we're seeing needs in the schools. We're seeing needs in our service programs. It's just bringing us together as a community to help. But there is so many people that need help right now.
I think we think of Herriman as a kind of an affluent community, which it really is. But just as much as we have on the top, we have on the bottom trying to, on the rocks, trying to crawl their way up to the top.
And sometimes, even though you may have all the things that, society says work for, sometimes you get yourself in a bad place too, and you don't know where to turn next. So even if it looks and the perception is we have it all, it goes unnoticed how much people in our community do need. And need also means like where you truly need, not what I want. But some people that even have the things are in that emergency need of hunger too right now.
Yeah. So tell me how the relationship with Athlos got developed and what the school does and how does all that work?
It's amazing. So it started as a principal's pantry. So they were trying to help the children and their families that were coming in that didn't have food on the weekend. As we know, a lot of schools go about that, and they just want to help their kids. That's how it started. And it started in just a little closet, and then it kept expanding, and they had brought in other individuals. Becky was amazing, and so many Athlos board members were amazing with this, trying to get this bigger and bigger. And now they're wanting to expand. So we're bringing in our 501c3 and helping us get with the food bank and helping continue to expand it. And it's exciting to see where it was. And we're so thankful that Athlos has given us this opportunity and to just reach the community.
Yeah, a huge shout out to Sam Gibbs and Dr. Dawes. And
Dr. Dawes is awesome.
And all that staff over there.
Yes.
Now, you mentioned about the food bank coming in.
Yes.
We also know that the Columbus Learning Education Group is coming in.
Yes, it is.
Talk about some of the exciting possibilities that exist with those relationships.
So what we're doing with Food Bank, we actually have our next meeting with them on Friday. And so what we need to tie it up to make sure that we can get connected with them. We are super excited for that because that's going to help us be able to reach so many more people than we're able to reach right now. And right now we're reaching around 30 to 35 families, which is nothing because we haven't really even let the word out much. This is probably the biggest part where we're letting the word out. So we really need the food there. And it's exciting to see what the food bank will be able to do on such a greater level. Now with Columbus, I still need to talk with him, but we are super excited. We're going to be doing an event a little bit later, actually the beginning of December. And what we're going to do there is we're going to kind of give back to some of these others that are asking for the things. Right now, the Columbus Center was asking for toys. And we'll talk a little bit about that when we talk about what's coming up. But we're super excited because we're at the ESL program.
Yes.
They will be in-house at Athlos. And it'll be amazing because we're at Athlos, they're at Athlos, and those that need that to help them, it's right there. And it's super excited that we'll be able to work together.
Yeah, so just, when we release this, we're going to have more information that's going to be available here. So we're going to put that in the comments to kind of catch up. But I think that's the big thing, is that we are so excited about the opportunities. You know, Marco Escobar
Yes.
has been tremendous on working with some of those things. He's with Friends of Herriman, and we're so grateful to people like that in our community. Our mayor has done a good job on a lot of those things.
Yeah, he's so passionate about bringing the community together, and that's amazing.
It's going to be so cool.
Yeah.
The major players that are working. So stay tuned for more information.
Yep.
We'll post it in the comments and this side of things so people can get there. Tell me a little bit about, this time of year, people are heightened, their sense is heightened as far as being better people, right? The end of the year, the holidays, all of that stuff. What are some of the needs, one of the most dire needs that we need in our pantry now?
Right now, a lot of dry goods. So corn is not dry, but we need corn. We need beans. We need pastas. We need rice. Those are super important. Meat right now, that is something that is super important. Ground beef goes so quick. And fresh produce, if you can bring it in, tomatoes, onions, those are things that have just, it makes them spark when they see it. Because a lot of the times in pantries, and I've been able to work with a lot of different pantries, and some that have everything that's needed, and then others that only have a little bit, which is kind of where we're at right now. And it's amazing to see someone's eyes light up when they get something as simple as fresh produce, because it's something we take for granted on a daily that can get it. And when you see someone see meat after they hadn't seen meat for a while, or see milk is super important as well. If you see their eyes and how much they light up, you can see something that's just missing and that we take for granted. And this time being a good person, maybe switching it more or less, instead of being a good person, more or less being able to love people, right? This is a season where we all like to get, and we can say we don't, okay? But we do. But at the same time, being able to give and being able to see on someone's eyes something so simple, right? We think, okay, it needs to be more extravagant. It needs to be more electronic, right? It needs to be something amazing. It doesn't have to be something amazing. It can be as simple as a box of cereal. And again, that's something that we need. And that is so inexpensive compared to the major things that you think you have to go for. And if we brought everybody back to how simplistic life can be, and how someone can be so grateful for something so small, that could reset how we think of Christmas.
Absolutely. We had one lady, and I just got to watch this, but Abuela, she had a pork roast that was given to her, and she said it had been 5 years.
See?
Since she like her last had her last pork roast. And I think, like, that's like Sunday dinner.
Yep.
So the gratitude that she expressed was just, you're like, man, I got to do a better job at this stuff. I'm sure you have some. Oh, go ahead.
No, it's that spark, right?
Yeah.
Once you see that spark and how you gave something so small and someone was so thankful, it creates a fire, right? Yeah. And it makes it's a ripple. It goes into the next person and the next person and the next person. And how could we in the community start that fire? And that's what we're doing with some of the nonprofits Lauren's pushing together, the mayor's pushing together, is to get us connected so we can help people on a deeper level, not just in my own little world, right? If we were all to branch out to other people, we can do so much more, like the pork roast, who then you never know what that did beyond you.
Yeah, it's a unique opportunity that we have right now. Mm-hmm. What are some of the stories or some of the highlights? If you had to highlight your career in this industry, what would be some of the things that you look at, some of the stories that you'll remember, tell forever?
Ooh, okay, so this is where I might get emotional. It is going to probably happen. So even before the pantry, I was raised just helping with United Way, helping other individuals. I was working for a company that we would hire people that have backgrounds and didn't have anything and was starting over. And you would think that starting over, there would be opportunity, but there wasn't really much opportunity. So some of the most amazing stories is the children that are walking into the pantry. How you're becoming a core memory on how you involve them and treat them. And you can see in the beginning, they were scared to walk in, right? Because a lot of people feel shameful when they're walking in a pantry, when in reality, we've all needed help at one point in time or the other. And now watching some of them, they're excited. Now the hugs that I get, that I'm able to give, it's amazing because we're becoming, in a way, family or friends, that instead of it feeling like, oh no, I have to go, I get the opportunity. And for those that no longer need the assistance, hopefully one day maybe they'll be able to help in the pantry and be able to be that for another individual. And just watching people's eyes, watching them go from fear to just joy.
Yeah.
Right? That is probably super core. Or watching people's lives go from no one believing in them or no one thinking they can do it, or maybe because they burned every bridge they had for the longest time, and switching it to all of a sudden you giving them the opportunity, whether that's food, whether that'll be through other programs that we're going to be involved in, just having that opportunity and having someone believe in them and knowing that they are okay. Just like God says, like, you are loved where you're at, not for what you think you need to be, for what society tells you need to be, but you are loved for you and how you were made to be. So those are the stories, those little things where people think there's nothing, and just that's that spark. You see in their eyes that change. It's not necessarily one story. It's people's eyes and their hearts.
And those images probably just burned onto your soul.
They do.
I love that. So what's next? We have got so many cool events happening here in the next handful of weeks. Tell us a little bit about some of those events coming up.
So we have the Herriman Work From Home at Redemption Bar and Grill. We are going to be doing a food drive. So coming in, you're able to bring food, and I just heard that you're able to drop off food early.
Yeah, so if the luncheon will be the 6th of December at noon here. Yep. And last year it was a remarkable, I don't think there was a dry eye. We had truckloads, we had a freezer, we had all sorts of wonderful success. This year, Redemption is going to allow you to drop off food earlier. So if you come in, drop off, not only do you mention the podcast, you get 50% off your mac and cheese balls, but you bring some food in, and then we'll store that up and we'll be able to take that to Athlos on the 6th.
That's so exciting. That just gave me chills. It's remarkable. It would be so awesome to even just grow this every single year and making this a tradition to help us just continuously help others.
I love it. What else? What other events we got going? You mentioned the toy drive.
Yeah. Okay. So it's more than a toy drive. It's a ladies event. So anyone in our community can come to this. Okay. And with this event, what you do is you bring a bag of gently used clothing that you've been having a hard time giving away, because you can't give it away, but you know you're never going to use it again, right? Bring friends. Everyone bring a bag. And the way to get in is either a $15 entry fee that will help the food pantry. So all the funds will help those when we need food and we don't have the right type. Like if we need more beans, we can go get more beans for people. So if you want to do the buy-in, $15 is great to get in, or bring food. And if you bring food in with a bag of clothing and toys, or just household items that you can hold in your hands, right? We don't need things that we cannot leave with holding. That would be great. And then the toy drive, they'll also bring toys. So what will happen is once everyone brings their items, we get to shop through it. So it's new to you, new exciting things for you, and anything that's left over. And last year we had 2 truckloads left over. Wow. And we were able to give it to the rescue mission. We were able to give it to the road home. We were able to give it to a lot of other nonprofits in the community. And we're going to do it one up this year, we're going to make sure that most of it stays in Herriman unless it's not needed. And then we'll start to branch out. So it's super exciting. We'll be able to help organizations like Columbus that are looking for toys right now. I know a lot of them are looking for coats. So if you have any leftover coats, we can go there. And I know there's some domestic violence shelters that are also looking for women clothing right now. And it doesn't just have to be women's clothes. So you can go bring your husband's stuff or bring your friend's stuff, bring it in, and we can shop through them too.
Man, I love our community, man. I'm so grateful to be part of a place that, we have so much success and so much affluency, but we have so much love and care and those things.
And if you get involved, just get involved, I know when you don't know where to get involved for a minute, you just think, oh, what's out there? But when you start to realize how many people in this community truly, we're getting emotional here, truly want to help our community and the people in it, it's amazing. And if you want to start somewhere and you want to you don't know where to start, feel free to start at the Pantry. And then we can get you connected to your desires and your dreams. We all have something on our heart and a certain type of person that we're looking for to help. Maybe this is just a way in.
Yep. And we're going to post some links on this that will give you opportunities to volunteer, whether it's with the Diversity Inclusion Committee of Friends of Herriman, with the Columbus Learning Education System, with the Pantry, all of these things. There's enough to do here. Yes. And if we all just lift where we stand, we're going to be in a good spot.
Yep.
All right, Cortney, I got a quote that I'm going to share from you.
Okay.
And the timing is fitting. And it's from my favorite Christmas story, called The Christmas Carol.
Okay.
The setting of this quote is, Ebenezer Scrooge is being visited by his old partner, Jacob Marley.
Yes.
And Marley's lamenting his plot in the afterlife, and Scrooge goes on to compliment him by, well, you were so good at business. And Marley cuts him off and says, business? Mankind was my business. The common welfare was my business. Charity, mercy, forbearance, and benevolence were all my business. The dealings of my trade were but a mere drop of water in the comprehensive ocean of my business.
Yep.
So when I say that, share that quote with you, and I can see it, tell me what that means to you.
So being in the business of being the director of businesses, being the one that was in control of a lot of the sales that go into businesses and out of businesses. And it's just really ironic that you would say this quote out of all the quotes because of what has gone on in my life for the past 2 years. What stands out the most is you can work your life away. And before you know it, you have nothing. You have money. You have things. You have things that make you happy for a very short period of time. But you do not have what matters most. And you're, again, back to the ripple of how much people mean. Things come and go. People and what you can do in their lives. That mercy that sometimes we get going so fast in life that we forget to be merciful because we're like, get on my way in the road rage, right? And we have a lot of, road rage. But it's that mercy and helping that person that you feel is in your way to get out of your way, but that person could change the world. Mm-hmm. And that humility, being able, just because you have it doesn't mean that you just have it. What do you do with what you have? If you're running a company right now, great, okay? Don't be like Scrooge. Don't keep it and see what else I can get, what else I can get, what else I can get. Because I can tell you, I've worked for some business owners that kept doing that. And they're near the end of their life and they're like, why did I do that?
Yeah.
It's what you do with what you've been given. And it's putting others before you because you can go again through life and then have exactly as he said in the quote. And then you never end up seeing what matters most. So taking a step back, whether it's during the holidays, we use the holidays as something to reset our minds, to get us back into the giving mood. But this should be an all year thing. It should be an every day waking up being like, hey, God, where do you want to use me in the lives of somebody else? It shouldn't be about me. It should be about another person. And if we all thought that way, we would never have to worry about our needs being met because somebody else would be loving you where you're at just as much as you're loving someone else. But the fear of feeling like people in society telling you you have to have it all, they're trying to fill a void. They're trying to fill that feeling of not being enough, that feeling of what is missing in my life. And they don't take a step back long enough because we put the next video game or the next thing that we're excited about that makes us feel good. But we're forgetting what matters most.
I love that. Don't be like Scrooge.
Don't be like Scrooge.
That is the quote of the day. I like that. Don't be like Scrooge.
You should say the quote one more time.
Don't be like Scrooge.
Don't be like Scrooge.
Okay, we're gonna switch it up and go to the lightning round. A little bit lighter conversation. Your last meal, what would it be?
What would my last meal be? Rice and steak, probably.
Rice
I know it
and
sounds really
steak.
weird. My friends make fun of me because I'm a little bit all over the place.
I'm always down for a good steak.
Yeah.
Books or movies?
Movies.
Okay, what's your favorite movie?
Oh, I don't have one. It depends on my mood. Yeah. I like happy movies.
Happy movies.
Yeah, because I will cry with the sad ones. And I just don't feel like crying every single day of my life. And if you're going to make me cry, then you better make it happy at the end so I can get out of it.
like a rom-com happy?
Rom-com or chick flick. Either one. I'm good with either one. It's just have a good point and a good lesson to learn and then figure things out at the end.
Oh, I like that. A good Kung Fu Panda
type of scenario. Kung Fu Panda.
Okay, so with your kids,
yes.
What is the number one cartoon that if there was a show on in your house that you could just quote because it's just always playing, what would it be?
Right now, and I hate to admit it, Cocomelon. All those songs in your head, you're like, please go away. They may argue about watching it, but my daughter always ends up somehow winning and putting it back on. And then we're singing the songs all day long without even it being on the TV.
So many people right now are nodding their heads and like, yep, I know.
That's horrible.
I know those better than a Taylor Swift song. You know, like I know that stuff.
And you try to get them to do another one that you want to watch as well, but it always goes back to
Cocomelon.
Yeah.
What is a bucket list vacation for you?
Somewhere tranquil. So it's not an actual place. Yeah.
Okay.
Somewhere, because unless I'm out of the city or out of an area that's going fast paced, I will be going as fast paced as everything around me. So to take a step back and go somewhere where I have to stay calm. It can even be, this sounds horrible. It's not bucket list. I was in Vegas for my birthday last weekend and we sat in the hotel room probably a good 8 to 10 hours watching Christmas movies. But I got to sit down, and some of you are saying, why are you doing this to me? This is not allowed. But yes, I was one of those, but it was a good reset because as a lot of people in my life know, I go. Yeah. That there are those moments that need to step back and sit. So if it was a bucket list item, it would probably be somewhere on a beach or in the mountains, just out of everything, and where I can just sit there and just be.
This next one's one of my favorite questions.
Mm-hmm.
What is your favorite failure? And while you're thinking about that, right? Failure is always just a propulsion to success. But like you said, we need a reset sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So with that in mind, what is your favorite failure that you've had in life?
My favorite failure would... This is going to get me. We were supposed to say happy. It is a happy moment. It is a happy moment, but it's going to get me hard. It is that I wanted to achieve the success in the eyes of man. I achieved the things. I achieved the incomes. I achieved the status. I've achieved all that. And at the end of the day, if you're doing it just to achieve the status, instead of just taking a step back and be like, what was I made for? Because we're all made for something different. It's not always success. And you can be successful in a lot of aspects. But if you're literally always just striving for more, you no longer see what's right in front of you. And for a lot of years, that's what I was striving for. And it's not that it's bad, because you can impact a lot of people, but it's what your focus is on. And the past 2 years has been that reset. And it might have been a failure. And in a lot of the eyes of a lot of other people, it would have been a success. But I would have said that that was my number one failure, because your family suffers, your friend suffers, a lot of things suffer.
I like that.
Yeah.
What's the best piece of advice you ever got?
The best advice. It would be that the culture, the world, it continuously says, focus on what you want. But the advice that I got was, you are enough the way you were made, with the talents that you were given by God that was specifically for you and the people that you're surrounded by, so you can influence them and love them where they are. So be you. Be what you were specifically made for. You don't have to be that person or this person. Be who God made you specifically to be, and take off all those layers of the things that you felt like you've had to become, and you are enough.
I love it. All right, last question.
Yes.
If I can flip my cards.
All good.
How do we as a community, as humans, as cities, as businesses, how do we not only ensure the success of the pantry, but also the success of those who are in need of it right now?
Get involved. Donate. If it's something that you can't do right now, spread the word, spread to others. And you may not have the finances. You may not be able to give a bag of rice because you're the one that needs the rice, right? But go serve. And it doesn't have to be the pantry. It can be other organizations that you were made to serve to. But if you get involved, and we have people involved in the community instead of just a few people here, it will change. It will change the community. It will change the county. It will change the state, and it will just keep growing. So how can you help us right now? For the pantry, we do need food items. We really need food items. And until we're with the food bank, the success of the pantry does depend on it. It's amazing because it just keeps coming when it's needed. But I also would love to have each person, even if they just, how many people do we have in the community?
60,000 plus.
Yeah. If every single person that's not in that dire need right now donated one item a month or $1 a month, where would we be? And it doesn't have to be the food pantry. I love the food pantry. It's on my heart right now. But if you gave just $1 to one person, like two, even could be a person.
Yeah.
That would change lives in the community.
It would change the game.
It would change everything.
So here at Voice of Herriman, we strive to give leaders and people like you the voice to be able to share your platform. So the floor is yours, Cortney, to share with our listeners your voice.
Our voice. We truly care about you. And as the pantry, we truly want this to be a conduit to help the community where they're at. Mm-hmm. So if you have that drive, you have that initiative, and you don't know where to get started, maybe it's not food, but maybe it's something else that you feel the community could be truly helped by, reach out to us. We're getting a lot of connections here where we can get you involved where your passion is, and just stop by the pantry. If it's to serve, we would love to help you where your heart is to get you involved in the community. And the pantry itself starts with food, and it starts with hunger, because if you're hungry, our kiddos can't focus in school. If their family members are hungry, it's hard for them to be able to help their children. And you're just so focused on the fear that you don't get the opportunity to experience quite the same love and help, right? So we just are truly here to help you and help the community and help those that are just in need. And it doesn't have to be a need forever. As a matter of fact, we hope it isn't a need forever. We hope we get you involved in things that help you so you don't get stuck in a cycle, but that it's something that you can truly say, hey, that community food pantry helped me change my life, or helped so many other people that I got involved in that their lives were changed forever. And it starts with you. It starts with each person taking that responsibility upon themselves, that it's more than just about me. And how can I help those that are around me? I might have been hurt. I may feel like my defense is up because I've been hurt in the world is against me. But come to a safe place where you understand that you can start fresh and you can be accepted for you.
I love that. Cortney, thank you so much for sharing your time with us. Thank you so much for sharing your talents with the community. We look forward to many more encounters, many more stories, many more successes, many more voices. But you ready to sign off?
Yes, we are.
Okay. Herriman, we got you. Thanks, guys, for stopping in.
Everyone.
We'll see you next time. Thank you so much for being a part of the Voices of Herriman podcast. I hope you've been inspired, moved, and have connected with the stories and the passion shared by our community. As I wrap up this episode, remember, the journey does not end here. Keep exploring, keep sharing, and keep connecting. Together, we can create a vibrant, supportive, and thriving community. If you have a story to share, a suggestion for future episodes, or just want to say, hey, I'd love to hear from you, reach out on social media at Voices of Herriman and leave a review on your favorite podcast platform. Before we go, a heartfelt thank you to Mix@6 Studios for producing and editing our podcast. Head over to mixat6studios.com to learn more about all the amazing services they offer. To the amazing individuals who have shared with me their stories and our fantastic listeners, you make Voices of Herriman a meaningful experience. Until next time, take care, stay connected, and remember, I got you.